This is Marley. She fell in love with controlling men's money.
I make 6 figures a year telling men what to do.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You mean to tell me that this episode of Love Don't Judge doesn't even have another person this time? This lady's husband didn't turn out to be trans, or he's not a prisoner, or anything like that? Cue the meme. Cue the meme.
I have a client that sent me $1,000 to be unblocked. 2 hours later, he sent $2,500.
Marley has clients who pay to do her household chores.
She gives me a task. I like to enjoy to do that.
95% of my clients are white men. As a black woman, I see my work as reparations.
All right, I already got to stop this again. So quickly into this video. This is getting so bad so fast. I don't even know where to begin. You see this stuff as reparations? Oh. This is so embarrassing. I'm getting secondhand embarrassment just hearing this woman say this stuff.
But less obedient people on social media think that what Marley is doing is wrong.
I was gonna have this white on a leash. Next thing I know, this just was like blowing up, going crazy. There was some like people in my inbox calling me the N-word, saying you should be on a white man's leash. So I wake up in the morning, I go to see what men have sent money overnight, what men are inquiring about sending me money. They send me cash, they run my errands, they clean my apartment. Everything that I want in life, these men are there waiting hand and foot.
Whether they want to admit it or not, most women want a man who will provide for them. The overwhelming majority of women. And one of the problems that the digital age has posed to American society is how can you provide for a woman who has infinite simps, or practically infinite simps, connected to her at her fingertips through the internet, who are totally willing to give her $1,000 to be unblocked, and then another $2,500 just cause. This woman's standards have got to now be ridiculously inflated, and there's no way she could have done anything remotely like this 20 or even 10 years ago. And don't get me wrong, this woman's not some sort of one-off. OF, or online sex work, quote unquote, it's really prostitution, but online sex work, so-called, is not some sort of thing that only a few women are engaging in. I have a friend who's in college right now, and in one of the dorms where he lives, there are tons of girls. There are these little whiteboards they put on the outside of their dorm doors that are like their social media. And on these whiteboards, some of these women have written their OF. There's like OF girls at his college. This is like a plague. We have an epidemic of porn stars in this country, enabled by these weak, beta, spiritually crushed men. It's ridiculous.
My name is Mistress Marley. I am a woman that takes money from men. They pay me just to be around me, just to speak to me. Who's gonna send me money today? I'm going out shopping. I need to be reimbursed. So boys, if you're watching this, make yourself useful. Send to my Cash App. I don't need to pay for anything when I go out today. Everything is funded by you. I own your wallet, as you know. I started this work fresh out of grad school. I took on a corporate job, but I felt like the job, I wasn't really making any money from it. I was having a lot of anxiety. So out of curiosity, I just went online and I searched up how to make money online as a woman. Webcamming came up, but I wasn't really into webcamming. And I stumbled upon so many women that were pretty much having clients send them money for existing. I'm here now 6 years later.
Women really are living life on easy mode. You can just type into Google, just search it up. How to make money online as a woman. And what are the options? Just be a findom. That's what this lady decided to do. Just prey on these mentally deranged, sick men and make money off of them. And that is this woman's career path now. And this whole Love Don't Judge video, by the way, is an advert for her brand. This little operation, this little business, quote unquote, she's running on social media here. Because that's what Love Don't Judge is really about and is really for. It's for facilitating and promoting incredibly destructive behavior.
This client, for example, is saying I'm going to empty his bank accounts. That's like a fun little thing we like to say. The ones that just like to talk and they haven't sent any money, I kind of just ignore them. The first amount of money that I ever got from a man, well, I had went out to eat and I had posted my receipt online, like reimburse my meal is $50. And then someone randomly sent me $50. And I was like, this is real. When I got that first send, I was like, okay, I need to take this more seriously. The biggest amount I've ever received from one client in an hour was $5,000. Every day is different for me. For instance, I have a client that sent me $1,000 to be unblocked. He wasn't living up to my standards. He was getting on my nerves. I still felt like he needed to be blocked. So then 2 hours later, he sent $2,500 and says, I will do better. But he might get blocked again because he's not doing better. We don't thank our clients for sending money. They know they're supposed to send that money to me. I'm not thanking them for something that they're supposed to do.
Why? Why are they supposed to send it? Why is that something they're supposed to do? Why do you deserve that money? See how this sort of relationship just is going to create the most egotistical and insane sort of person, right? Because the human brain is ultimately not advanced enough to compartmentalize stuff like this. Any amount of rationalizations away of this type of relationship as just being between two consenting adults, or, this is just some sort of erotic play that they're engaging in and they can stop at any time. People have to be seriously mentally unhealthy to do things like this. This is not normal at all. And of course you have Love Don't Judge trying to normalize it, saying, don't judge this. Don't judge the weirdos that want to give this woman money because they hate themselves so much and they view themselves as so small they have to pay for a woman's time. And don't judge the women who are such unbelievable narcissists that they feel that their time should be paid for in this manner. This stuff is just crazy.
In total, I've probably had over 500 men send me money. I can earn anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000 weekly, and then yearly anywhere of $100K and up. And then you'll have some clients that will come to you and tell you directly what they're looking for. Like, I want to run your errands, I want to clean your apartment. So today I have Beta coming over. He's going to give me money for pretty much taking care of whatever I need done around the house today. Beta, you're finally here. It took forever.
Yes. Hello, Mr. Small.
Come in.
Thank you.
Today you're going to be cleaning my kitchen, so you can take that stuff over to the kitchen.
Okay.
Move quickly.
Thank you. She gives me a task. I like to enjoy to do that. Everybody has some limits, and she respects that.
So what have you been doing in your free time? Been thinking of how you're going to serve me?
Yes, Mrs.
Louder.
Yes, Mistress.
Right, as you should. The cleaner my house, the better I feel. Faster, faster, faster. I don't have all day. Go. Compliment me.
It looks wonderful.
Tell me how beautiful I am.
You are looking gorgeous, Mrs.
I know, it's an honor to serve me,
Marvelous.
isn't it?
Yes, Mrs.
Exactly.
Had to blur his face out because this is just so shameful. I bet his family would be embarrassed that this is how he spends his free time.
I never feel like I'm taking advantage of Beta because anything that happens between us, I always communicate ahead of time. I always like to ask in advance, what's your schedule for the week? In what capacity can you serve me this week? Make sure I establish boundaries with the client. All right, move. Let me see now.
Okay, first of all, there are no boundaries that you can establish that will make this relationship healthy or normal. This guy must have severe self-esteem issues, a severe problem with self-loathing, a very low view of his own self-worth to be engaging in something like this.
All right, that's much better. This is mutually beneficial because we're both getting something out of the arrangement.
Sometimes I feel that this is the purpose of my life, that I need to do service for women, and especially for Mr. Smalley. Yes, I enjoy myself a lot.
So your purpose is not to start a family, be successful, contribute to society, or build civilization, but to give money to some woman who doesn't even love you, who has an entirely transactional relationship with you, who may block you if you're not doing things up to her standard. Like, that's your purpose in life? Like, think about how insane this is.
What do you give Beta as a reward?
I mean, as a reward, he gets to be in my presence. Beta, I need a foot rest. My feet hurt.
Thank you, Mrs.
Good boy. I feel like a big reward, too, is like he gets to be around all these powerful women. Just being able to reward him by having him in spaces where he can also thrive too, as a man that likes to be controlled.
I feel safe with her, that if anything goes wrong, she's always there for me to protect me.
Okay, one, what can she possibly protect him from? And two, men do not thrive from being controlled by women.
You did a good job.
Thank you, Mrs.
I'll have you back next week. You can leave now.
Thank you, Mrs. Goodbye, Mrs.
Bye.
Thank you.
I have this bag of great little things. This right here is very important to me. So this was the first ever tool that I bought when I first started, and it has my name on it, and then it also has reparations on the back. 95% of my clients are white men. I've had men that say, I want to pay you for what my race did. As a black woman, I see my work as reparations because it is.
This is such a disgraceful, disgusting, humiliating thing to hear her say. It is reprehensible that she would even suggest that this is reparations in some way. This woman is so deep in the sunken place. She thinks she's getting back at white America, at white people generally, for behaving this way, for whoring herself out, for doing, instead of starting a black family, a productive black family, being an upstanding pillar in her community. This is what she's decided to do. Prey on these mentally ill white men to give her money. This is sick and twisted. This woman is so bad, I'm going to need to call the Nation of Islam just to clear things up.
The Honorable Louis Farrakhan warned us in his Savior's Day message that God will continue to force the enemy to show his true colors to us until we understand that it is now the divine time for us to separate from them and build something independent and self-sufficient for ourselves. Our God is tired of his people being the Lazarus in the modern world like this, begging for the crumbs that fall from the rich man's table, begging the white man for justice, begging for jobs, begging for food and shelter even. We have become more dependent on white America in 2015 than we were in the darkest days of chattel slavery.
So does that woman's lifestyle sound like independence and self-sufficiency? Or is it really another form of begging? And before you tell me I'm crazy, I just want to remind you, this woman makes her living off of mentally ill white men. Does that sound like black empowerment to you? And if you're pro-black, does that sound like any sort of empowerment you would want to profit off of someone's fetish and dysfunction? This is disgusting. This is absolutely disgusting and humiliating.
The money that I make from this, I'm some way, somehow always giving back to my community. I've done like backpack drives, I've done like holiday drives, and that's why I just like to include it in my work. This is a video that went viral of me at homecoming. And I had to let them know that's not my sugar daddy, that's a client that pays for that. The client had reached out and he was like, I want to be walked on your leash at your homecoming. I went to a historically black college. So I knew it was going to be like all black people there and I was going to have this white on a leash. Next thing I know, this just was like blowing up, going crazy. And there were some like people in my inbox like calling me the N-word, saying you should be on a white man's leash. One person was like, it's one thing to do this at home with somebody you would care about. It's another to humiliate an old man. I'm like, you guys don't understand that he reached out to me. The client also loved it. Like I have a conversation with him where he was saying, I loved being on your leash.
That doesn't make it okay. And it reflects badly on your entire community that you would even do that. This was like a public event, and this is now seared into people's brains that you did this, that you walked this old white man on a leash around them. Come on.
You were bombed yesterday. There's valid concerns in like my client state of mind. There are some potential clients I've had in the past that messaged me and I could tell they were not mentally in a good space. I think it's better to ask questions than to just assume. A lot of the criticism I get back is that I'm taking advantage. I'm taking from them because they don't know anything else. You figure out what they can afford through conversation. So like if you have that client that can only send for like coffee or like breakfast, you pretty much know like that's what they can afford.
See, they gotta present her as though she's responsible, like a relationship like this could ever be responsible, that she has boundaries and she knows her client's limits. And then earlier in this video, It was literally her talking about her blocking some guy because she felt like she didn't give him enough. Come on, like, what is this?
The judgment in the beginning when I first started was a lot because I wasn't used to being at the forefront, being so public facing. It's to the point now where it's like, I really don't care. They're still gonna have their opinion. At the end of the day, it's not gonna change. So the best thing I could do at that time for my mental health was just block them. I also make money by throwing educational events for women that want to get into this type of thing. Hi ladies, I'm Mistress Marley, and today I'm going to be giving you the top 3 tips on how to get men from money. Get men from money. That's a new one. I throw them all over the world. So women come together, we network, we learn how to do this work safely. Are you more sadistic? Are you more powerful? Are you more nurturing? You need to figure out who you are in this space. There have been like comments surrounding like, am I promoting something dangerous? That's why I'm really, really big on teaching about safety, teaching about vetting each client.
Yeah, see, women like this are conspiring together and spreading this information and trying to get more women involved to see how much they can milk out of men. It is truly atrocious.
The warnings that I like to give women coming into this industry is not to have unrealistic expectations, because some of them come in and they think they're going to make $5,000 their first day, and it's not always like that.
Thank God they don't.
Another warning I like to give too is to just be careful about who you're speaking to. There are some men that will try to scam you, making sure you're not giving out any personal information, anything that can be identifying, just really protecting yourself.
I mean, you can probably already tell that I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for anything that happens to women who enter lines of work like this, but this is yet another reason that doing stuff like this is idiotic and dangerous for both parties involved.
I feel very empowered by the work that I do. There were times in college and undergrad where I was like in a relationship. I felt like I was being controlled. So taking my power back from that. I also feel empowered just helping other women. They just feel so great after they leave. Like, I did something today.
Literally just admitted that this is how she's getting back at men. Okay.
I told a man what to do and he did it for me and I didn't feel guilty after. A lot of women feel guilty of asking men to do things that benefit them. My ultimate message to other women about my work is just take back the power in your life. You only have one life to live. Just move around like you got it going on, because we do have it going on as women.
You don't have it going on as women. The only reason you believe you do is because there are a lot of apparently mentally ill white men who are out there willing to subsidize your lifestyle. This is incredibly unhealthy, and women like this need to stop for their own sake and for the sake of the people they are taking advantage of, and for the sake of their family and the rest of society.
I'm headed to the dungeon to control men some more for the rest of the night. We're here. We're about to enter the dungeon. This is where everything happens. There's certain things that we use in here, but of course I can't show you all because you have to pay for that. The backgrounds of these men that come here vary. So some of them are CEOs, some of them work on Wall Street, doctors, educators, police officers. Most of the men do have jobs where they're in high positions of power and they come to see people like us. They can just get rid of that power, even if it's just for an hour. I don't like to date clients. I like men that are going to take the lead. And a lot of people find that to be ironic, but when I'm in my personal relationships, I like dating alpha males. On the first date, I will tell them what I do. Sometimes it takes some explaining.
Yeah, and see, here's another lesson. Women will never respect you if you don't respect yourself. This woman who dominates other men professionally only wants men who can dominate her. So part of how she makes money is the allure that a lot of these guys have in thinking that they can get with her. And I guess just have her control their lives indefinitely. But she doesn't even want that. Because again, she doesn't respect them because they just throw money at her for no reason because it's undeserved.
I do want a long-term relationship, so I want to get married, I want to have children. I want something definitely separate from the lifestyle and what I do.
No alpha man with self-respect is going to marry you. I'll tell you that much.
I can see myself doing this job till I'm 80, 90 years old, being really old, like, give me your money, like in a nursing home or something like that. This lifestyle has been able to make a better life for myself. I've been able to give myself that creative freedom to just not feel like I'm, behind bars or just locked in a box. To people who judge me, I pretty much just say, judge all you want, the money's still hitting my account the same.
And the black community suffers as a result because this woman is not qualified to be a mother, not qualified to be a partner, and is not an upstanding pillar of the black community. This woman has brought shame to black America through her actions. Anyway, that's all I have to say for this video. I hope you learned something. I hope it was eye-opening and informative. And there's tons of women out there like this. We have an epidemic of porn stars. People think it isn't a real thing. It's just because you see these big podcasts like Whatever Podcast or Fresh and Fit hosting these OF girls. No, this stuff is happening locally. I know women in my town, women in my region of my state who are doing stuff like this. It's a serious and pervasive problem. Anyways, that's it for this video, and Red Channels will catch you in the next one.